Hey everybody, this is Glidercat and it's time to play. We are back in Captain of Industry. Let's get back to it. Between episodes, I did quite a bit of stuff here. You can see our smelting operation, our second kind of pair of iron smelters has been constructed and is working. And then we've got some of our factories here. We'll go over what these are again, just to recoup. This is mechanical parts for maintenance purposes. This is electronic parts for maintenance. Those two products move along this belt. They go into a little buffer storage. Looks like we're a little light on electronics. It's one of the issues we're going to maybe look into this episode, as I'm short on copper production. We'll see that in a bit. But here's maintenance. I've got one advanced maintenance building, and I've got a bunch of other maintenance buildings. If you look over at the right side of the screen, maintenance is at 82%, so we're okay. It's not great. The issue, as you can see on this belt, is I got a bunch of empty belts here, and that's the electronic parts. And again, that's, I think, because we're a little short on copper. Although, yeah, you can see this belt. So even if I were to unpause these, I'd get a little bit of production. But this copper belt is empty, so we gotta look into that. We're getting by, but I gotta look into that. So that's maintenance production. That factory right there is all maintenance, and it's fed by this set of smelters. Then we got construction part ones over here. So we're bringing in wood, we're bringing in concrete slabs, we're bringing in iron plates, and out come construction part ones. Those are put into a storage here for building purposes, and then any overflow is sent off to the right into another buffer here, and eventually we'll feed construction part twos over here. So those take construction part ones plus more electronics. And again, electronics we're a little weak on. That's the construction part one factory. Boom. Then over here, we start the production for construction part twos from scratch. So electronic parts. This may or may not become a construction part one factory. So construction part one's just for the production of construction part twos. Whereas these construction part ones over here are meant for building purposes for us to kind of use as they are. But I've been getting by with overflowing these to this factory, and you can see I've got tons of construction part twos saved up. So it may be a while before we even need to bring this factory online, if ever. I think I'm still gonna do it, because I think we're gonna chew these up a lot faster as we play on, but maybe not, who knows. All right, so that's that. Over on the copper side, I did expand our copper smelting, added another set of blast furnace, casters, and the electrolysis guy. And we've got two, is there three? There's three now. 3 excavators. Let's just double check. Yeah, 3 excavators. I just put a third one on. Actually, the second and third one I've just added recently. So I'm hoping it catches up. But they drop their copper over here. They drop stone here and dirt here. And then as these fill up, other trucks will come and take those to our dump site, which is down this way. That's most of our production. I did tap into our oil resources over here. We've got an oil deposit. Oil is an issue we need to get after this episode if we can. This reserve is already halfway gone, so we've got about 9,400 barrels or liters or whatever the measurement is of oil, crude oil there. And then our original oil deposit, I have paused. There's 4,300 there. And you can see our situation. Our diesel is looking kind of low, but we do have crude oil to process. And I've actually been shuttling in diesel from our offshore oil thing, and I've upgraded this one level. We can crank up the production. Right now it's at 60 per minute, I guess. And there's almost 2,400 barrels or units of oil sitting in the oil rig that we can go fetch. And I've been doing that with our main ship here. You can see it's got 600 units of oil on it, And the dock has 400 units of oil, and trucks, like this one right here, are hauling that crude oil over to these containers to be processed into diesel fuel and rubber and fuel for everything. So that's super duper inefficient. Need to get that looked after. What else is going on? Coal, I think I may have added an excavator or two over here. I did shut down our coal burners for now. Got rid of 2 of the storages. So we've just got 2 storages full of wood, and I've got 3 coal storages that are all turned off. So trucks cannot export. This is just like emergency coal for now, and the ability to make some more emergency coal. So we'll just leave this all kind of shuttered. I've got a bunch of storage for wood here. I'm trying to clear trees. And I need a place to put all that wood. I don't want to burn it all into coal. So I've got these storages here. They're spaced the way they are because I envision upgrading these to the huge storages at some point. But I just keep adding more because we need to clear out space for our factory. And so that's where they're putting the trees. Right now that feeds construction part 1s. What else? So we got our ramp here up to this platform. We've got another completed ramp down from this plateau down to here. That's going to give us access to a new coal resource, which is right over there. Right now, I've just got excavators doing some random landscaping, but I want to tap into this coal here real soon. I don't have a place to put it at the moment. That's why I've got these excavators just playing around, playing in the dirt, leveling things off for us. And then we have one more ramp actively under construction here to get us up to this plateau. That's going to get us access to another water deposit. I think we'll be able to traverse this and get to the water. I guess, is that gold we'll get access to? Don't know that we'll get into that anytime soon, but it gets us into gold, and then maybe it's an easier path to access this area, which is even more water. I think that's mostly it. We've got landfill going here. There's definitely optimizations I need to do for all of our dump sites so that we can maybe use conveyors to bring this material down to where we're doing our fill designations. Right now it's all trucks doing that. What else? So for problems, I mentioned the copper. So copper production is not where it needs to be. Going to keep an eye on that and see if this extra excavator solves that problem for us. But we'll keep an eye on that because that is impacting our maintenance. And I think that's the main cause of our maintenance not being at 100%. So that's one issue to look at. It's not super urgent. Second issue is food. So if you look at the top of the screen, we've got 16 months left of food. I got 2 farms running. This one's set up to do potatoes and vegetables, and then a fertilization cycle to restore fertility. Never sure what the right or the best formula is for these crop cycles, but I'm thinking we have to invest something in fertility until we can get fertilizer and stuff. So that's what that one's set to do. And then this guy is set to just do 2 potatoes in a fertilization cycle. And it's mainly set to do that just because I haven't set up belts and stuff to route the vegetables. But this is barely keeping up. In fact, the only reason it's keeping up is because I have an edict here I did have an edict for food consumption reduced. Looks like I turned that off. Barely, but we're barely keeping up. We had situations where people were starving, or I did a little while ago. So I want to get another farm down. We'll do that this episode. We'll put it in some temporary location, probably over here. There's room. Long term, I got to figure out where we're going to do our farming. It's always a challenge, at least for me in this game, is where do we level off the land to get things organized and stuff. For now, early game, I think we're just going to have to ad hoc put things wherever we can. I do want to kind of preserve this factory space the way we've got it laid out, because I think this is going to be around for a good long time. On the research note, there's a bunch of stuff. You might remember there was a couple iron ore smelters here. some ad hoc production. I've ripped out a whole bunch of that. We don't need it anymore as these factories are coming online. So a bunch of stuff's been ripped out. But what I do have being produced at kind of ad hoc is lab equipment 1. So we need that for our research. So I've got a storage for electronics, and those are just being trucked in basically from these storages here, most likely, where we're storing I think this is the only place where we're maybe storing electronics. So I'm trucking in electronics, and then we had a couple assemblers over here, and we had this from the old smelters, this iron plate supply. So I'm just producing mechanical parts there because those are needed. And these two things, looks like that's not even keeping up. But if you look, we've got a fair amount of lab equipment level 1s here. And then over by where our research lab is, this has been upgraded. I got another storage here just to receive that lab equipment and feed it into the research lab. This is kind of temporary, but it'll get us through. It'll probably get us through all the stuff that requires this low tier 1 lab equipment. And we're doing research. So if we look at the research, we've got the new maintenance depot. You saw I upgraded one of those. The cargo depot is underway right now. It's almost 80% done. That's going to be critical. We need to get oil going. And this is going to allow us to actually import oil, not with our goofy ship, but with a cargo ship. And I think our cargo ship is repaired. Yeah, if we look at the top of the screen, we've got a cargo ship that's repaired. So I want to set that up. Maybe this episode will get started on that if I can stop babbling here. Pipes will come next. Advanced diesel, we have already researched. Once we import oil to our cargo depot, we can set up advanced diesel. We could do it now, but it probably doesn't make sense. That'll come biofuel, desalination, burner. It's too bad this burner doesn't generate power. Like in real life, there's incinerators that actually generate power. This one just gets rid of garbage. Researching it just to get it off the tech tree, basically. I don't think I'm going to use that. We'll see. Then we've got ship weapons coming up. That's going to allow us to explore more of the map, hopefully, and at least tackle some of the weaker enemies and bigger storages. So that's going to help where I'm storing all that wood, and everywhere I've got storage, we can upgrade. This storage, I think, is the same size on the map as the other ones. Once we get to tier 3 storage, which is who knows where, way out here somewhere. Those buildings are a whole lot bigger, but I think these ones, if I recall, are the same size. But I do want to get that. We got gas combustion. Produces high pressure steam by burning gas. Okay. Settlement power. This is going to get us more unity. And what did I do? I think maybe that's where I stopped picking research. So that's where research stands. So yeah, research I think is kind of on autopilot right now. I'm okay having it kind of ad hoc. Oil we got to take care of. In the meantime, we're going to shuttle oil with our ship, which is pathetic, ridiculous. But cargo depot, once that's done, and again, it's at 80%, I want to try and put a cargo dock here. We may need to wait on the terraforming, trying to kind of square this off. And then I need to clean this up too, this weird ridge. Maybe we can square that off too early on here, this episode. The cargo depot, and then one thing we can probably take on right now, if we have the construction parts for it, is setting up a coal-based power plant out this way. I've already got, one little excavator and a couple trucks out here doing some work, but I'm thinking maybe we could set up a power plant here somewhere. Hopefully there's room. I'm not sure how big these things are. Let's take a look. Boilers. Okay, yeah, tiny. I think we'll be all right. Maybe in this area is opened up a bit. I do have these trees marked. I think it's going to be a while before our little tree cutters get there. But yeah, so power plant, so what I'm thinking of doing, we'll get to it here in 1 second. Thinking of putting a farm here, getting that set up, just so we can start growing some stuff. And then maybe we try to clean up this area. so that we can have vegetables going on this farm too, and have belts that route into some kind of storages or something, and then feed these guys. Right now we've got 2 food markets. One's doing potatoes, one's doing vegetables. They are being fed by belts, at least, in these farms. So we're not shuttling food, but this could be improved. And then, like I said, we'll probably put a farm right here out of the way with my factory sprawl. And then I want to move to the power. And then if there's time, we'll look at this cargo depot stuff, see what we can do. Let's get on it. Let's unpause. Boom. That's the lay of the land. Let's do it. Let's do it. Farm first. Let's get this placed. This is going to be quote unquote temporary for a good long time, probably, but need to get more food. It's just, it's a time bomb waiting to explode if we don't get on it. Crazy about putting it down here. Let's see if this guy will actually take on this uneven terrain. Looks like it did, right? Shoot, I should probably make this an upgraded farm right out of the gate. Let's do that. Let's do irrigated farm. 60 construction part 2s. We got tons of construction part 2s, which is awesome. Really want this thing out of the way. Let's look at resources real quick. Am I blocking anything? Iron, but not really. We are going to dig deep. Let's maybe cheat over to the right a little bit. Rain too high. There we go. It'll take it there. Let's just drop it right there. Get that thing constructed. Do we want to mess with this belting? Not really, but we probably should. Get rid of these storages. And that may give me room to route things. Let's go after this a bit. Delete this out. And I need... Let's change the growth cycle here. Change this one to vegetables. This belt I think is currently blocking, so it's going to have to go. Hopefully my colony won't starve to death while I'm working on this. Water, we do have water coming in. I got 2 pumps. Maybe I need a third. How much do these put out? 48. What kind of pipes do? 60. We're gonna get upgraded pipes. I think that might be next. Do have 2 guys pumping water. Yeah, they can't even, that pipe is so thin. But it's feeding that, and it's coming down here and feeding these guys. There is water in there. All right, we need this stuff deconstructed. Unity is in the negative right now because I've got the offshore oil rig going, and I kind of need to keep that going. I think I got to take out more of this belt, actually. Take that out. Let's take this out, too. This probably has to change too, so these guys can meet up. Maybe on the ground. Let's get rid of that too. See if we can clean this up a bit. I want to set up a belt network for food where everybody can kind of, all these new farms can kind of tap into it. And this is very limited the way I've got it set up now. It was truly temporary because now it's going away. Wait for those guys to do their thing. How's our ship doing? As we deconstruct, everything goes into the shipyard, which I'm not crazy about that, but I guess there's no other place for them to put it. I wonder if I should put storages here for those things. Storage for construction part 1s and 2s. in an attempt to keep our shipyard empty. So let's do construction power 1s. Don't know how this isn't going to just get filled. Construction part 2s. Yes, I can set this to like empty. Gotta let trucks import from the shipyard. Yeah, I don't know. What? Definitely let me know in the comments what your technique is for keeping the shipyard free of gunk, free of a bunch of stuff. Especially right now when I'm trying to unload my ship. Let's see. Those oil tanks look okay. I'm gonna send the ship over to get another batch of oil. Got 2,670 sitting there. So load cargo. That guy's off and running. Let's see if our belts cleaned up. They are. Except for this. Ooh. What a mess. Alright, so I need... Okay, for vegetables... kind of come together and come up there. Let's go into planning mode for this. And see if I can route these belts in a way where they... able to be shared and then go up. Do this. This guy's gotta go. You need to get rid of that unless it does it automatically. Oop. There, so now you're connected and now you need to go up. That somewhere where it looks decent. That would be that side. Now for the potatoes. Gotta come out, U-shaped conveyor, out and then up. Little goofy. This and then come down. I'll have this guy hook up to that. That one's going to delete for us quickly. Shaped conveyor. So you are going to come over here, connect up with this guy, hopefully. Now this guy is free to go up. Something like that. It's better than nothing. It's not beautiful. It's not beautiful. That's for sure. And then eventually, oh man, this guy's already built. Let's do it. Veggies, haters, and let's do a fertilizer. Anywhere, I need to get water over here too. We'll get to it. Man, there's so much to do. Trucking is just loaded, overloaded right now. I've got room for a few more trucks. Let's queue up a few of the... Oh, I've got some queued up. Let's get more queued up. Water down here is a problem. Pipes too are being researched right this very instant. Let's unpause all this garbage. I mean, beautiful design. Get that all built. And I need to get water to this farm. Man, I do have water over here. There's a little water network over here. It's being fed by a couple pumps. I don't know where those pumps are. That's our oil. Where's the little... Here's our little water pumps over here. In fact, I can unpause this guy. There is water here we could tap into and bring over. Or we've got water up here. Oh boy. Probably doesn't matter. This one seems to have more supply. This is flatter ground though. Let's see what the reservoir looks like. It looks fine. What about running a couple new pump jack or water pumps in here? It's gonna chew up more power, but if I do doom, we'll unpause a couple of these. Then water tanks, maybe. I'm chewing up a ton of construction parts doing this. This is probably massively overkill. Okay, let's unpause all that goodness. Set these to water. And let's get that water routed into this farm. Somehow, I'm going to have to come under a thing too. Here, maybe. There's room for a water pipe there. It's not horrible. It's not horrible right there. I think I'm going to take that. Now I got to get to this farm. Let's go. Let's come on through here. Try and hug this. I do, like I said, I'm probably going to upgrade these storages, so I don't want to be right next to them if I can help it. Where we're going to make them bigger. Yeah, there's no way around that, is there? Maybe we should go up this way. Sure, I'm not going to need to come high over here. Okay, let's get that unpaused. I like it. I like it. We're going to be upgrading these pipes soon. This one's probably going to be fine for a while. Check it out. You're already pumping water. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay. Is everything taken care of here? I think so. There goes our first little load of potatoes. I'm going to leave this little stem here just in case we need it later. We do need to route. We need to route these things. The actual food. Guess we can come across and do the same thing. We're going to need 2 belts going all the way across. There's potatoes, there's vegetables. At least for now, that's how we've got it. I don't have any storage buffers. It's not perfect, that's for sure. Just scoping out the path. Maybe we can ride right along this. Ride along this path pretty high. I might be able to go over these buildings even. Don't think so though. Maybe. Maybe. Down through. They carve this open space into 2 halves, but it's not too bad. Let's just get on it, I guess. Potatoes. Actually, let's do the vegetables first. Try and match these pillars a little bit. We don't need to snap. Just need to find our way through here, fellas. Thinking. I'm just going to keep going straight across. We can move it if we decide later we need to move it. This long belt's kind of creating its own buffer since it's so freaking long. I'm okay with that. Let's unpause it. Boom. That one constructed. It's going to be a bunch of construction part 2s. But we've got them now. We've got them now. How's everything looking? We got to bring our ship back. Let's pick up the rest of that cargo and we'll bring back 3,3700 units. And then I'll get unloaded because we're going to run out of diesel. It's really pathetic how I'm doing that, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. U-shaped conveyors. I think it's going to follow underneath this guy. Okay, why don't you underneath? Are you underneath? I don't want a new pillar. That's the whole idea here. Now you can go higher. probably go under. Let's see what it does. Yeah, it's fine. It's at a lower height. And this guy can just hook up right on here, I guess. I like it. That'll do. It's going to take some time, but it'll do. Where's our meals? They're at 19, so we are slowly climbing. We do have room to put little buffer storages here if we want. Even over here or something, but we'll just let that run. Okay, I feel good about that. Oh man, how's our shipyard doing? Okay, just oil. That's what I like to see. This guy's got tons to unload, and there's our little trucks doing it. Waste, waste, very inefficient, but at least they're doing the work. All right, over here. Power time. So let's lay this out. Oh man, it's been quite a while since I've laid this whole thing out. It starts with a boiler, right? Get water down here. Let's look at the stats here. So this is going to get me 48 steam. And these do what? Half of that? 24. So one boiler for 2 high pressure turbines. And these guys put out 6 megawatts. I usually throw 2 or 3 these things down. And then looks like what, 2 generators? So this guy puts out 6. These guys chew up 3 each. So planning mode for sure, but let's see what we can pull off here. We're gonna need to get water. I'd like to kind of bring it from up here. I think there's water up there. Oh, way out there. Let's yeah, let's put this down. Well, we're gonna move it, but let's get started with it. There's that. Steam's going to get split between 2 of these guys. Steam goes in down below. And got directionality there, I see. Something like that. We'll mirror image this. Steam 48, 24. Steam is going to come in here. It's going to give us 6 megawatts of power. Okay. And then these will only generate power when the power is needed. And I guess this stores it, the mechanical energy, right? I usually do like 3 of these. Oh, I got to get the directions correct here. I don't know how many make sense. 3 sounds good to me. And then power generators. Making sure the arrows are all lined up. I know I could hit shift, I just didn't. I think that's good. This is kind of like our big battery storing kinetic energy. And we got these chewing up 3 megawatts of kinetic energy each. That's going to generate 6 megawatts. In theory, you could have more, because if this battery is storing kinetic energy, that means you could have more than 6 megawatts of kinetic energy coming through these flywheels, but we'll just go with what we've got here, and then maybe mirror image that or flip it. So let's take this guy, copy it. Rotate it, flip it. Rotate it, rotate it, rotate it. Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Might want to leave room to run a pipe through the middle here. So what if we space that like that? Steam, nothing goes in here, I don't think. Steam's gonna go on the outsides. We got low pressure steam to deal with. I don't think we have cooling towers yet. Big crisis going on. Let's see what the warning is up here. Station's out of fuel. Hopefully that'll get resolved on its own. Yeah, I was gonna look for cooling towers. I don't think we have that. I think I just gotta vent out this low pressure steam. Remember, if there's something, steam, low, anything I can do with it? High pressure turbine generates it. Yeah, right now I can just, all I can do is vent it out. I don't have the cooling tower. Does it show which research requires that? That'd be cool. Probably somewhere. I'm center clicking, right clicking. Right click on a product icon. Come to this overview. Control click on a machine. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess we got to vent it out right now, which is a little bit of a bummer. So waste management, smokestack, handles 60. What do these guys put out? 24. So one smokestack does it, kind of. Like that. Pipes. And then pipes for the steam, and then we got some stinky stuff coming out of here. Exhaust 60. This we want to turn on for... Oh, it'll do it. I don't have to, do I have to pick a recipe or not? Recipes. Okay, yeah, they're all set. That's fine. I can only do 60. We gotta snap another one of those onto this guy. Means you can't really overclock or boost one of these things, right? Because the exhaust won't handle it if you boost. Could put 2 smokestacks there just to solve for that. How much is a smokestack? 10. Let's do that just for the heck of it. I know people probably never do this, but I am. Let's do 2 of these. Let's see if that works. This is just in case I decide to boost it. That out. I think that'll actually work. Now we got to route our steam. Is that it? No, we got to get water into here. Minor detail. Water, and we got to get coal as well. And by the way, I can't get up on this plateau yet anyway. These guys are still working on the ramp. It's all right. It's all right. We'll make it happen somehow. I don't want 2 of these setups. Coal and water. I want a whole bunch of coal storage. Let's maybe start thinking about that. The actual coal mining piece of this. This area is all available to us. Let's get rid of these designations. We want a bunch of coal storage. Just thinking here how I want to lay this out. We're going to dig down, so I don't want to be too close to where we're digging. I kind of want to zigzag. I'll do 3 rows of these basically. That mine tower's just a little bit in my way, but that's all right. We'll make it work. Last one's going to be like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll set this for coal. Boom. Copy that. Rotate it. And copy it again. Should have held down the shift key. I do forget on that a lot for some reason. So coal's going to come in here. This one. These guys are going to be linked here. Boom. That's where I want them sending their coal. Pause all that. All right, and then do we want to keep these guys real snuggled up next to each other like this? I guess. I don't see a big problem here. You can go into there. You not go into there? Here. That's my water. What am I missing? We're going to do another one, but we'll wait till this all gets built. Let's unpause this guy. All this garbage. I mean, beautiful power plant. Let's just do a quick check over at home base here and see how we're doing. We'll come back. Where am I? Okay, diesel's coming back a little bit. We should have tons of oil on the ship still to unload. We do. 1.7K. 400. Unity is slowly tracking lower. Food is at 23, so food's actually climbing a little bit, even without the addition of our new farm. So that, I'm kind of happy to see that. What do we have for edicts? None of this stuff looks to be on. Industrial edicts, we got maintenance reducer, we got fuel reducer, and we've got the offshore oil rig going. We're about to have settlement power. So that should get us some unity, I think, once this is researched and we can put a transformer down. Yeah, it generates extra unity. So hopefully we can get back into a positive situation. I do need to keep that oil running. Check it out. Yeah, we're saving up some water here. Can probably take this down to 1. 2. That's just feeding a single farm. Overkill. Overkill for sure. All right, we need that ramp to finish so I can get water over here. In fact, we might want to put a bunch of water tanks down somewhere to feed this whole complex. Do 6 of those, or 8 of those. Eventually going to rip this stuff out and put the bigger storages, but while we're wasting resources, let's just do it. Boom. I like having buffers and things, not because you need to have them, but it's a nice early warning. Like visually, I can just see, oh man, we're short on water. So for me, I kind of like that a lot. Set this to water. Cut and paste tool. I guess I'll wait till this stuff gets built. Oh man, you guys got to keep moving. Man, it looks like they got a ways to go, doesn't it? Got lots of trucks. I don't think I've got an extra excavator. Oh, I got this one. I could... These guys, I suppose. Although I could have them start shoveling coal. Let's take these guys off the coal area and put them on the ramp area because we really need to get to that water for this to be a thing. Ooh, looks like I got an extra excavator too. Of course, they don't have fuel at their fuel station. Trucking is on fire. Too many projects, not enough belts. Construction part 2s look awesome. 1s look pretty good. And look at that. Lab equipment 1 looks good. I know we could have more research labs and probably get the research done faster. I can't keep up with it as it is. Can't build all the stuff I'm unlocking as fast as I'm unlocking it. All right, what's next? Gotta get water. So water is eventually going to come out here. Guess I can run that pipe because I'll probably forget it. Pipes all need to be upgraded soon. This water out. It's going to go straight across because we're probably going to feed another power plant that looks just like this one. Unpause pipes. I'm going to unpause the pipes. I think that little connector's going to build, even though it looks different color to me. I don't think that's actually paused. Be wrong. Can't tell. All right, so we got lots of construction projects and not enough trucks to do all that work. I've got a ton of trucks working this. I think there's 2 more excavators on their way. Should be. There's 3, and there must be 1 coming away from home. I'm not sure where you are. I do have a tree planter here sitting. Not using it yet. But we do have it. But we're about to unlock more vehicles. We can have 110 now. Let's queue up more trucks. We're about to get our pipe upgrade unlocked. Oops, not where I want to be. I want to be up over here. Anxious for this to come online. Does this require anything I don't have? Looks like it's all construction part 2s. Iron plates. We got tons of all that stuff. Let me make sure the iron plates we can export those in my storages. I think we can. Yeah, trucks can export. I got a bunch there that are accessible, easily accessible. These ones, I don't think trucks can maybe not even get to. I guess they can get to these. I have exports turned off on those. Oh, I did build this little road thing here. Not sure how this works. Stone surface, I think I used. It says reduces the vehicle maintenance by 20% for trucks that travel on it. We'll see. And then some of these disappear, these little squares. So I don't know if they degrade or if I'm supposed to not put this on top of a planted surface. I kind of thought they were going to be built, but I was able to just paint this on here. I might have to read about that. I'm not sure how these actually work. I like the idea. What happened? I just deleted or something. It's weird. What's going on? What is up with that? Yeah. Let me just restate for the record. I have no idea how these work. Yeah, I have no idea. That's something that's going to get built. Got a bunch of concrete slabs. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, I hit escape and it's gone. So who knows? Who knows? Not me. These guys are digging a little deeper for iron. Our mines, like I said, we do need to do some work to increase their efficiency. This, I guess, is going to take a while. Food is continuing to look better. We got 23. Diesel's not great because we're doing that weird shuttling things back and forth. Unity is not good. We're going to run into a problem there soon. Maintenance is at 100%. I guess the next thing we can do is work on this little area and make this better. We want to build a cargo dock here. Let's see what the field designations look like. Or actually, tell you what, let's wrap this episode. We've been going long enough. I explained everything. That took a bunch of time. But yeah, next episode, let's see about getting construction plans down for a cargo dock, and then maybe even jump into doing oil processing. I do think I need to do some terraforming here to improve this ledge, but maybe we don't have to wait on that. We'll see. We'll see next episode. But yeah, this is a good place to stop for now. This is Glidercat saying thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoy this series. It's new season, the 7th. I think it's the 7th season of Captain of Industry. Oh man, this is like my favorite game. There's so much to do. We'll see. As long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep posting episodes. I think I'm going to, even if the views go down, I'm probably going to keep playing on this map for a good long time. Unless I hit a death spiral. But yeah, as long as you keep hitting the like, keep watching, keep the view time up, then I'll keep posting episodes. And then, like I said, once it drops off, I'll probably just do this off camera because I love this game. Hope you do too. I want to thank Glidercat patrons and channel members for their support. Deeply, sincerely appreciate that support. It's what allows me to run this channel. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next episode.